Okay, this is the prototype of my fox hunt transmitter for the Mike and Key fox hunt exercise. And what it consists of is a little plastic ammo box, and I have a Beofeng transmitter in it. Open it up and take a look. It's set to mid power, which I think is 4 watts. And basically what I have is a toroid just to block out some of the RF. And I built the interface cable based on, I'll show you here in a second, some schematics that I found on the web. Basically that's what you have to build. And that's what this is here. That's what this is. That's what this is. And it plugs into this little MP3 player that I bought on Amazon for relatively cheap. I got 2 of them. You could just hook it in a computer and transfer an MP3 file to it. But the nice thing about these, it has a record switch on there. You slide that switch and you could just talk into it. There's a little microphone in here and you can record your WAV file. And it's not the highest quality, but it seems to work. So what I've done is I had a signal generator. Oh, there it goes.
W7GG, Mike and Key fox hunt transmitter. See if you can find me.
So it's kind of an annoying sound. So there's 15 seconds of that coming out of here. And it goes through the interface here, and it goes right into the mic input. And on a Beofeng UV-5R, has a Vox feature. Bang. Okay, that's annoying, isn't it? Great stuff. It has a Vox setting, menu 4, I think it is. And you set it to Vox. I think I have it set to sensitivity 1. Which means as soon as this thing starts playing, or audio actually starts coming out of it, it'll trigger the Vox and start transmitting. Now this is one continuous WAV file on here, and what I've done is I've recorded a series of 15 to 20 second segments, which has some output of a signal generator, which I actually had hooked to a speaker, a SP430 HF radio speaker, and I just kind of held this in front of it and talked and let that thing play all at the same time. So there's 3 or 4 15-second segments here, followed by 1 minute of pure silence. And if there's no audio coming out of here, of course, it's not going to transmit on the radio. So that's kind of how that works. So the manufacturer says these USB MP3 players will play 16 hours on the battery. There it goes again. So
see if you can find me.
So turn that down a little bit. And I was worried that this thing may not hold a charge. So I fashioned up a USB charger with a LM7805, kind of hokey, to try to keep a charge on this thing with a 12-volt battery. But I'm not sure I'm going to use this. This gets a little warm, even though, it gets a lot of warm. Even though they said this thing's supposed to shut off when it's fully charged, it still seems to draw a little bit of current. There's quite a bit of voltage drop, 5 volts minus 12. There's some power being dissipated there. So I may eliminate this portion of it here and just let it take the chance of running 16 hours on its own internal battery. It's got a little lithium-ion battery, seems to work well. The other challenge is I got one of these Beofeng battery eliminators, total garbage, total junk. I was worried that the radio would go dead, and I wanted a way to run it on 12 volts. This thing only runs on 8 volts, 7.2 actually. Found this battery eliminator, supposed to plug in at 12 volts. I thought that would work out really good, but it's total lameness. It'll only work on low power. The only thing that's in here is an LM7808 3-terminal regulator that's only good for 1.5 amps. Well, on mid power and high power, this thing draws over 1.5 amps. So it swamps it out and the display goes dead. There it goes again.
In Key Club, fox hunt transmitter. See if you can find the transmitter.
So I mixed the tones up a little bit. Anyway, this is garbage. Not going to work. So that's the biggest waste of $7 I ever spent in my life. We could talk about that later on. It would have to be redesigned with LM350 or something of higher current capability. But as it turns out, I did order a bigger battery, a 3800 milliamp hour battery. That'll be here shortly. I think 3800 milliamps is going to be more than enough power to run this thing for all day, 8 hours, 10 hours, which means I won't even need this. And all I'll really need is just the Beofeng with the bigger battery, the MP3 player, and whether or not I decide to put a USB charger on there. I don't know. I have two of these here. They both have the same recording file on it. So I'm going to do some field trials out in the yard, see how long it'll run. The box is just a little cheap ammo box. I got a big 5, a little bit of a ground plane, kind of a handy waterproof deal. Nice thing about this,
BNC.
USB, you can put any kind of antenna. So if we want to put a piece of coax and a bigger antenna on a tripod to try to home people when they're renting, this would be the guy. So there's the prototype details. More to follow. 73W7GG.